Yeah, I was going to say, right, I don't understand how he got back to Gotham. They block out every sort of entrance possible. He just like walk up to like Catwoman and like, hi, I'm here. Oh, yeah, I would like some explanation of how he got back. What's up? Welcome to our coffee shop. I'm your host, and welcome to another episode of the KopiBros show presented by the Chit Podcast Network. Now, for those of you that are tuning in via YouTube or any sort of podcasting platform, hi again. Thank you so much for giving us a try, for giving us a listen. We're just a Singaporean duo that love Christopher Nolan. Speaking of... Yeah, I love him, man. I also love him too. Speaking of Christopher Nolan fanboys, once again, I'm joined by my die-hard Christopher Nolan brother. I think we are brothers in arms with this, like, it's a common view, right? I'm joined by, this week, Mr. Jin Yong. Jin, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing fine. Just recovered from sore throat 2 days ago. So I still have a very small cough.
Oh, okay. So it's like, after the draft, then you got it, is it?
Yeah. Tuesday I had like sore throat, and then I recovered on Wednesday. Then I had like running nose. Then today I don't know why I woke up with a cough. My God.
This sounds like the symptoms of something.
I tested. Don't like that. Tomorrow I still have to go. Tomorrow I still have to go with you and meet our friend.
Yeah. So yeah, we are actually going to meet together for our baby. 1 year old. Yeah, not the healthiest environment to go and be spreading germs. Yeah, I think we wear masks. Be careful, right?
Yeah.
I think in general, both of us should be more careful. This like the reason why Brandon is not here is also because he's also sick. So he texted me, right? He has a 39 point something fever for like the past 4 or 5 days. And then he can't figure out what it is. Yeah, I think it's dengue. But Brandon, hopefully you'll get well soon.
Yes,
I do think. Yeah, get well soon, brother. For this week's episode, right, interestingly enough, we said it in the earlier opening, we are going to be talking about Christopher Nolan movies. Yes. I don't think that Brandon is as well versed as compared to you, because you and I think we are like intensively interested in like the subgenre that he's like specifically good at.
Yeah.
Right, wouldn't you say?
Yes, of course. Yeah. I don't know how true it is, but apparently I heard somebody say before, they say that the reason why he did the 3 Batman films was because he went to Warner Brothers to ask for investment. And Warner Brothers said, can, but for every movie that you want to make, right, you have to make one that will promise us a blockbuster. So he made Batman Begins, then there was The Prestige. Then he made Dark Knight, there was The Inception. Yeah, so he had to so-called balance this out. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, and the reason why actually we're doing a Nolan episode specifically is because next month, very soon, the movie Oppenheimer is coming out. Yes. I also was reading out a bit about the fun fact of why it's being released with Universal and no longer Warner Brothers. Do you notice?
I didn't.
Yeah, okay. So Nolan, right, he's always attached himself with Warner Brothers. So it's like every time you see a Nolan movie, it's like, it's a Warner Brothers movie that is like a legendary pictures thing. But the reason why he was unhappy was because he found out that they had the intention to open it both in cinema and on HBO Max, HBO Go.
Oh,
yeah. Okay. And you know how much he dislikes the fact that it's like preventing people from going to the cinema to watch because he films it on such a high scale. Then it's like reducing it to a TV form. Do you know what I mean? Oh, you sure that the Nolan variations? Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So this one, I read from here, right, that even for his own, screenings, right, he made an effort to like not only go there to watch the movie, but at like random timings, he'll just go to random theaters just to watch and then sort of see like what's the reaction and then how the crowd is taking it, this kind of thing.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be hyped away the Oppenheimer. It looks it looks really good. Cillian Murphy is like one like damn underrated actor. The Peaky Blinders. This L, that's like favorite actor. All right, but let's sort of like dive into this week's episode. So what we're going to be doing, essentially, is that we're going to be grading the Christopher Nolan movies. So we're going to be giving school grades, not like C+, B+, or this type of thing. And it's up to us how we want to gauge. And and then we'll just go from the lowest Rotten Tomato score all the way up to his best movie. All right, with that out of the way, let's get right into the episode. All right. Now, as we said previously in the opening, we're going to be grading the Christopher Nolan movies, and we're going to be using a school grade system. So it's like B+, C+, C-, all this, right? And the reason why we're not going to be using this Rotten Tomatoes score system, right? Like score it like a 70-something out of 100 or 60-something out of 100, because I feel that it's very hard to, come up with a specific, like that specific number or reasoning why. Do you know what I mean? Like, I find it's very hard to justify. And I think there's a lot of misconception. We touched a bit on it in the Pixar draft episode, right? About the idea of Rotten Tomatoes score.
Yeah.
So that's why when we go through the movies, right, I'll say out all the scores, and then you might be a bit confused as to, why is it like this, or why is this rated like this? Yeah. But actually, right, the idea of Rotten Tomatoes is not to say like, okay, if a movie gets like 85, right, it's not rated 85 out of 100. It means that reviewers, 85% of reviewers think that it's a good movie. So most of the time the review is either good or bad. So it's like fresh or rotten. Yeah. So there's a misconception of the idea how they end up getting this 85% of the score lah.
So like it doesn't make sense that Christopher Nolan's best rating movie is Losers to Toy Story. This doesn't make sense.
The annoying, like what, I think 6% for his best movie. But it's just different because I was going to say like Toy Story, for instance, when you watch it, I would say that 100% of people that watch it will think it's a good movie. Yeah. But that does not necessarily mean that it's a better movie than, let's say, for instance, The Dark Knight. Yeah. So I think this is like a misconception of Rotten Tomatoes that we have like more like
you can take it as a gauge of the mass appeal lah. I think that's a more accurate reflection.
Correct. The first movie, we're going to be starting from the lowest rated Rotten Tomatoes score or working our way up. He has in total, I think, 11 movies. If I'm not wrong, 11 or 12. Yeah. Okay, first off, right, I was quite shocked that this was the lowest rated.
I was also.
I was completely shocked. It's actually Tenet, which is like his latest movie.
Why?
Why? I thought it was a great movie.
It was a great movie. Yeah, I have to watch it like 2-3 times to sort of understand.
Yes, correct, brother. It's so confusing, but it's a good movie.
But it's a good movie, yes.
Yes.
I think in terms of grade, of course, I wouldn't give it an A because I think not just me, but some people I know or they are Christopher Nolan fans say that this film is lacking a bit in the humanity aspect lah. Because they say a lot of his films, or rather those that are very good, always touch very deep into the humanity or the human condition, but this is a bit lacking in that. They feel that this is a bit like, how do you say, like, you know, a pianist that is so good with his skills that he just go off and show off his skills. He doesn't really care about like emotive.
But he doesn't play like the emotional side of it.
That kind anymore. Yeah,
like sometimes you can just play like simple notes, but he like I completely get what you mean. Yeah, but if you have to watch that movie in itself and then understand the complexities of what he's trying to do, right? I feel it's a very ambitious project. What he's like.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, the fact that he's using time, which is a very difficult thing in itself to explain. Do you know what I mean? Like relatively, correct, yeah.
Yeah, so I think the difficult thing about this and Interstellar, right, is that there's actually a lot of science behind all this backstories and stuff lah. And then to make it, you know, how do you say, to make it in the form that, you know, the scientists explain within 10 minutes you can understand, I think it's not easy. And then it has to be believable at the same time because it's touching on something that people think that it is, how do you say, it is doable, but it's not proven yet.
I will also say that for him in this film, right, the filming and the intricacies of like doing different timelines at a simultaneous moment. Yeah, so like, for instance, there are action sequences where it's like, this person is fighting in the present, but the opponent is fighting in reverse. So it's like, the ambition behind it is really like very thought provoking and very well done. Because if you see the action sequences and then they go back and then it's just that I agree with you to the extent that if you, let's say for instance, someone that just wants to go and watch a movie that is like not so mind boggling or whatever, right? They'll be watching this and they'll be thinking like, what on earth is happening? Like the whole movie. I remember I watched with my wife, right? She was like, oh, so this is like two separate timelines. I'm like, oh, that's the whole point of the movie. That's why the name Tenet.
Just have to wrap your head around the fact that it's a time inversion. It's not time travel.
Yes, correct. It's time inversion. Then I kept explaining to her, right? That's why the movie is called Tenet. Because when you reverse Tenet around, it's still Tenet. Like if you flip it upside down, it's still Tenet. Then she was like, oh yeah. Then it's like if race car also backwards, it's also race car. And I'm like, oh yeah, actually true. These are the funny things that you don't think about. And also I would say that the acting performances was good. Like this John David Washington and specifically Robert Pattinson, I thought he was great also in the movie.
Yeah, Robert Pattinson was great.
How would you personally feel why it was like given such a lower score? Like maybe why was it 69%?
I think, of course, number one, in terms of the complexity lah. I think a lot of people had issues. Like even myself, I had to watch 2-3 times to sort of understand the movie.
Okay.
And then I think for Nolan fans, some left a bit disappointed in the sense that they feel that, like I told you, he was just showing off lor. Less of the humanity aspect of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And I also think that there's an element of it being a bit too convoluted at times. Like I know the science is detailed, but the believability factor that is lacking just a bit. Which I think it can come off a bit untidy in comparison to his other films.
Yes.
But overall, Jin Yong, how will you grade this movie?
I will give it a B or a B plus. I think B bar. Yeah.
Okay. B plus.
Simply because I think B plus is still a good movie.
Not his worst movie, also not his best movie. You can see the idea behind it. I just wish that maybe he spent maybe one more year trying to refine the movie. You know what I mean? Yeah, just a bit more time. Yeah. But B plus for Tenet. I also agree. I was gonna give it a B plus also. Yeah, which is like a good rating. So, but I don't think that it'll be my lowest rated film.
Of course not.
There'll be other films that I think will be lower rated.
Yeah.
But interestingly enough, Tenet, B plus. Okay. Next up, I was also very shocked that this was the second lowest rated film. But I do think, we'll touch on it later. It's actually at 73% on Rotten Tomatoes. It is Interstellar.
No, this one I don't understand. It's such a great movie. Oh my god.
Yes. It's a good movie. But I think there's a reason why that this and Tenet are here for the lower ratings. Because
I can understand why.
Yeah.
Because the science behind it can be quite confusing. Because they are not just talking about time travel, they're talking about like different dimensions, they're talking about time relativity. Then they are entering some fifth dimension kind of thing, and then it gets a bit like to the point that when the part when they enter space, then he had to force the girl to let off. Because a lot of popular movies have so-called shown how the universe looked like, right? But actually, Christopher Nolan's depiction of the fifth dimension, right, that was the closest one even scientists say that anybody has done to a firm depiction of it. So I think I can understand why it's rated badly. But I think if you look at it from a storyline perspective, it's actually something very touching. Like, even in the midst of all this science and everything, right, that the will of human and the love of humans can do a lot of things.
I saw a lot of like scientists, they go and present how the Interstellar, the detail, to like lecturers in class or this, right? And says correct. This is what you show the level of effort that you should be putting into your cinema or this. But the main thing, right, I thought of when I left that movie, right, I was like, this Matthew McConaughey, right, is a bloody good actor.
Yes.
Correct? Yes. Yeah, there's this scene, right, where he's like just sitting in front of the monitor and then he's like seeing his children grow up.
Yes.
Can you remember?
Yes.
Yeah. And then you can see that man act, like sit there and cry because in like 2 hours he sees his children grow up 30 years or whatever, right?
Yeah. Then you just keep hearing all the recordings being played. Then it's like, like who died? Then he say, then he slowly hear that the children like sort of lost hope that he's coming back. Then only his daughter still say that, I'm still recording this, I'm with the hope that you're coming back.
Okay, but in terms of this movie itself, I think that it takes a lot of influence from 2001 Space Odyssey by Stanley Kubrick. I think it's very obvious. You can tell like the way that they use time relativity and stuff like that. Yeah, but I was going to say that the things that I did not like about this movie, right? Specifically, I did not enjoy like the Anne Hathaway character so much. Because like they all have an intended mission, then all of a sudden she says like, I'm in love with this like person. We have to go and diverge our plan to go to this area. I was like, I did not enjoy this like plot twist in the movie. And I think, right, if you were to go and see the history of Nolan movies, he does not do well writing female characters. If you notice. I agree.
His female characters are very singular.
Yes, they are not very well thought out or well fleshed out characters. They're just very very like straight-laced characters. But overall, I did think it was a good movie. I did think it was a bit long. But overall, like how will you like review this movie? Grade it.
I topping with you, I opposite with you. I felt that the movie was too short because I thought some of the science stuff could have been better fleshed out. Yeah.
Okay.
So I will give it an A. Simply because A plus to me a bit far-fetched lah. And then there's only one S in my definition of his movies. So I'll give it an A lor. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. I will give it a B plus because I think it's on the same level as Tenet. For me lah. Yeah, I do not think that it is comparable to a lot of the other films because there was a lot of things. There was a lot of parts of the movie I was like, I don't really like this, or I feel that this is a bit ridiculous. Yeah. All right. Next up, interestingly enough, I love this movie. Like I love this movie. I was also very shocked that it was this though. It's actually The Prestige. It's 76% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Damn good movie.
It's a damn good movie, right, brother?
Good movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially
I don't understand why is it so low, leh.
Yeah, especially when the ending, you sort of realize that actually all the magic tricks, right, were just the things that you never thought humans can do, they do.
From the start of the movie, right, when you get to see the rivalry sort of like start, when Hugh Jackman and Christian Bale, I was like, I'm immediately hooked to this movie. And then you get to see like a lot of things, you just keep mind-boggling throughout the movie. Like, how is this happening? Or like, how did they do this trick? Also, Scarlett Johansson and Rebecca Hall, I thought they were good also. But like you said, they were not like very fleshed out characters. They were just there to serve the purpose of being the assistants or being the love interest or whatever.
I think my second or third film from Nolan, and I kind of enjoyed it in the sense that like you say the plot was interesting, and then to see sort of he pushed the humanity to the like very extreme to see what they will do. I thought it's something very interesting lor. Yeah,
Michael Caine in this movie was like really very good, and I think like
yes.
I don't know if this is the first. I don't think it's the first, right? The first time he featured him was in the Batman Begins, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
Yeah, Batman Begins, right? But it's like you can tell like this Michael Caine is the type of actor that he wants to serve the like that
stabilizing factor.
Role. Yes, like he always use him as like a human element point lah. Like humanistic grounding element to the film. Yeah. The only issue I have with the plot is that I don't like the Tesla stuff. I thought that was a bit ridiculous, like the whole cloning, the
pushing it a bit.
yeah, which is like okay, we'll spoil it a bit lah. I think you have to make it clear. If you want to go and spoil stuff, we're gonna be spoiling all of the movies here lah. So like, yeah. But like I did not enjoy that Tesla stuff. I thought it was a bit weird, like how you can clone people. It doesn't really make sense. But when they review at the end, right, when Christian Bale he has a twin. Yeah. However, right, I was like, this is some elite storytelling shit, man. Well,
the guy spent his whole life trying to break the code, right, thinking he got it, right. Then actually the truth is just so simple and so in front of your face.
And then like Michael Caine kept telling him, right, he uses a double. He confirmed use a double, but then he just like, it cannot be. They look exactly the same. Their fingers, they have the same cut or whatever, but it just goes to you the extent that people are going to go, right, to go and keep a magic trick alive.
Correct. I have to say why the Nikola Tesla, the cloning part is, there has some sense to it is because Nikola Tesla, right, there is a lot of rumors or conspiracy theories.
Of him being very...
he has a lot of these inventions that when he died, right, because he had no daughter, no son, this kind of thing, the US don't know what secret agency came and confiscated 10 boxes of his findings, right, and then give his nephew only 1 box back. So there are a lot of like conspiracy theories about whether he has developed time travel, and then that's why we not going to play games we call Tesla call, right? The wave and all this kind of thing. All they say is he invent one. Yeah,
like radio waves and then making use of like the wave signals and stuff like that.
Correct.
Yeah, I do agree, but the cloning, I mean, okay lah, maybe lah. But I guess they make use of the fact that he's an ambiguous figure to their advantage, lor. Yeah. Overall, I thought this movie was something that I would say that it's more of his more rewatchable films. It's not too dense.
It's not too complex. You can just watch it.
Yeah, it's just you watch and then you're on for like a fun movie, like a thrill or this like. Yeah. All right, but for you, Jin Yong, how would you grade this movie, The Prestige?
The Prestige, I think it's B plus. I find it pleasant, and then but like you said, it's not anything too deep. It's still an enjoyable movie, but I struggle to say that it enters the A range of his A-list movies lah. Yeah.
Okay. I think that's fair. For myself, right, it's a personal favorite for me, but I also want to be objective. I do think that it's like not, if you were to compare it to his other films, it's more rewatchable than like good lah. So I would just give it an A minus. So I think like in between it'll be a A minus B plus. Yeah. The next up is this movie called The Following. So now, Jin Yong, have you watched this movie? Because to be honest, not a lot of people have watched this movie.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, the following is his first ever film, and I think that if you were to read up about how he made this film, is very interesting. Do you have a chance to read up about how it was?
Yes, I heard because he had to save on the tapes, right? Then he had to force all the actors to rehearse a lot of times. Then when they take the scene, it's only one take or two take. Then it's settled already. They have to cut from there.
Yeah. If you were to look at it, on how much the budget cost, right? It was only a $6,000 film.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the reason why it was $6,000, right, was because that he could only work on the weekends. So he took 1 year to film this movie.
Yeah.
So what he did was that he would tell these actors, right, every Saturday we'll meet up and then we'll film the scenes lah. And then after that, every Saturday you can go off lor. And then let's say for instance he work right, then he's like, I don't have enough money to pay for film. It's okay. We'll hold 2-3 weeks off, then we'll film the third week later. Yeah. And I think that he sent this message out when he was giving a lecture. He was saying that if you're an aspiring director or if you're an aspiring producer or whatever, right, you have the luxury of time to produce your products. Yes. Don't sort of like panic and rush or feel like, okay, I have to have these actors for 1 month. I'm going to film everything in 1 month. So he took the time to like really craft and then like, it's 82% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's only 70 minutes long. And the movie plot is very straightforward and very simple. So it's just about this guy that has an obsession following people. And he doesn't do anything malicious. He's not like a
stalker.
Stalker or anything like that. But he's just very fascinated by how people behave. So one day he's following this person. This person notices that he's following him lah. And then he tells him like, why don't we go a bit further? Let's go into the people's houses. Let's follow them into their house and go go inside the house and see. And you can tell, right, from this movie, right, it was like this guy got something special. He thinks differently from other people, the way that he can come up with like different narrative storytellings. And a lot of the tricks that he does in films like Memento, a lot of the tricks that for Tenet, right, he used in this movie, he just did not have the budget to flesh it out like Memento. So you can see like he has an idea, but it doesn't look very good because he only has a $6,000 budget. So he plays a lot with
his own money.
Yes, correct. Yeah, it's really like no money. So he's playing a lot with the time, and that's why he also said that he filmed the movie. He made it black and white for that specific reason, because he's like, I don't think we have the budget to like color saturate the thing or like go and make it look better or like So he just said like, I'm just gonna make it black and white. Overall, right, I think I personally would give it a B.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's a very good movie, very well done movie. And I think that the fact that it's a budget movie, it elevates it for me because it's like still a watchable budget movie for $6,000.
Honestly, I didn't even know that Following was his film. Because when I Google, right, I always thought the only film I never watched from him is Insomnia.
Ah, okay. We'll touch on that later. Yeah, but the Following, okay, we're just going to give it a B. Okay, next up is 84%, the one that started the whole Dark Knight trilogy. It is Batman Begins. Yeah. I would say that this is his first big budget film.
Yes.
You got a big budget. Yeah. So what's your first thoughts on the movie? Or like how would you like look upon it?
I think from the get-go, right, when I watched if I never remember wrongly, the opening scene of Batman Begins was the one he was like in the high mountains, right, when he descending or something. I think from the first shot, I don't know why, I just felt that this movie, although it's a superhero movie, is just going to be something very, very different. It's being done a bit differently. The characters were showcased a bit differently. Even the cool stuff in the superhero movies that was very, how do you say, like all the equipment all the like cars and everything, even that was done very differently. I just couldn't, I just can't describe why it's so different, but it was a very enjoyable superhero film.
I think it is grounded in realism.
Yeah.
Because if you were to look at other superhero movies, right, it's the fantastic element of it. It is the grand element of it, or the idea of people have superpowers and stuff like that. But I think Nolan, they made it in a way that it's like, oh yeah, he's like, he got money, but he's like still like a real superhero that doesn't have powers, but he can do a lot of things because he has the money, because he has the brains and the training, because he can go through it and see how he's trained as a superhero. I think that's the good thing about Nolan, his decision to film it this way. For this Batman Begins, the cast was quite elite lah. The cast that was chosen for the movie. Yeah, a lot of great actors, right? Like Michael Caine, Liam Neeson, Cillian Murphy, Morgan Freeman. Casting decision I did not like. Would you like to make a guess and see whether is it the same as me?
Probably his girlfriend. Katie Holmes, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought Katie Holmes was awful in the movie. Yeah, they changed her,
she was
right?
so bad, they changed the female lead for the second installation.
Who would I cast in this role instead of this Katie Holmes? I think Jennifer Connelly would have been much better. Because Jennifer Connelly, she's known for acting like this type of like a bit subjective, a bit darker roles. Like she does like Requiem for a Dream and stuff like that. Yeah. So if you see also the progression of the films, right? This was the most like superhero-y. Like after that, it becomes more and more like real, like more and more realistic and stuff like that. Yeah. But how would you rate this movie?
Honestly, I'll rate this B+ also, because it was a pleasant surprise. And like you say, I think it was very grounded in realism. I found it very enjoyable. Yeah. And then it sort of lead to the masterpiece, which is the second installation.
Yeah, I'll agree with you. Same scoring. All right. Next up, it is the same in the same trilogy, not the second one, but the third one. It is The Dark Knight Rises. Now, there's a lot of differing opinions about this movie, Dark Knight Rises.
Yes.
Okay, it is 87% on Rotten Tomatoes. Now, what do you think of this movie, Jiong?
I felt that it was the worst out of the three. I mean,
I agree.
On its own, it's still a good movie, but I really felt that the only good thing about the movie was the villain. The villain was actually written quite nicely. The Bane, like Batman. I know he's getting old. I know he has back issues, but I just feel like he was such a loser. I'm like, this is not the Batman that I like. Yeah, then I'm like,
yeah. I was gonna say I did not like the decision to go and make it like so many years after the Joker film, because they re-aged the Batman up for some reason or whatever. Yeah. And then I could tell also like they probably did not intend initially to have Bane be the main villain. I think they still wanted it to be the Joker, but then like because Heath Ledger passed away, the loopholes, there were like a lot of loopholes in the movie. Yeah. Like, I was thinking like how the heck did he come back to Gotham? Like how?
Yes. And then his health just suddenly got better.
Yeah, like how? Like it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, as in, yes, okay, maybe he do like some treatment or people there will straighten his back and stuff like that. But he should be. They broke his back like technically. You know, they broke it. Yeah, Bane. Yeah. But then I was gonna say right, I don't understand how he got back to Gotham, because if you will watch that plot right, they block out every sort of entrance possible. Yeah, correct. Yeah. And he's not coming in from a place that has he did not come in on a bike. He did not come in. He just like walk up to like Catwoman and like, hi, I'm here. I was like, oh, I would like some explanation of how he got back, or like It's a Deus Ex Machina. That's like a convenient sick entry, which I did not like. It's like for Nolan's level, I did not enjoy it. So also I was gonna say that the best part of the movie, yes, is Bane. But I do think that there was at times, right, first time I watched the movie, I was like, there's a lot of things that I cannot hear him say. So the sound mixing of his the words that he's saying is very, very hard to hear. I don't know if it's the same for you or what.
I just felt that it was too low. I'm like, why? Batman already talks so low, then you like push his voice even lower.
I'm like, what are you saying, man? Yeah. And I also think that it came out at the same time as the first Avengers. So it was like, did not do as well as that movie, the Avengers. But I think this might be my least favorite Nolan movie.
Yes. It has
for you also the same?
Yeah, but even as a least favorite, it's still better than most films out there, I have to say.
Yes, correct. So
probably a B- or a C+. I think I'll go with a B-. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say it's a C+ for me, because I did not enjoy the first time I left the movie, I was like, this is such a disappointing end to the trilogy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because my first impression, but it's just that when I rewatched it again, then I was like, okay, the technical stuff is like really very brilliant. You cannot deny like the opening sequence where they have Bane in this like the hovering above the air, then they like I also did not like the Marion Cotillard, the Talia al Ghul storyline. I was like, I don't like this. Yeah,
for what?
Yeah, it's like it's a bit pointless and all this. And I also thought Catwoman was a bit of a redundant character, but
exactly, I guess
for what? Okay, so I think it averages out to a B-. So far, the lowest rated movie in this Nolan reviews. All right.
Yeah.
Next up is so this movie, the next one, is a movie that I think is a groundbreaking movie. It is Inception. Zio.
Yes.
Do you love this movie as much as I do?
Of course, I tell you. this movie, my God, just the ending alone. How many people has argued over this ending, whether the top is spinning or whether it's stopping? Oh my God, just the ending alone. It's just such a wicked joke, you know. I enjoyed myself all the way out to the end, right? Then I'm like waiting for the top to spin, continue spinning or stopping. Then it just ended. Then I'm like, huh? How can you play such a cruel joke on us? Then I'm like, huh?
Have I ever told you about the story I have while I was watching this movie in the cinema?
No.
So I was watching it with my wife and my mother-in-law, right?
Yeah.
And then we were watching, and then after that, we saw that the top spinning, and then after that, the thing, it like sort of bend, then you go to the credits, correct? Correct. Then after that, we could hear someone from the back, "Hey, walao!" He just yelled like that. Damn funny, I'll never forget. Yeah. He just expressed something that I was feeling internally.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, why? The first movie, right, that I was like, I need to go back immediately to go and rewatch.
Yeah.
Or like I need to find a way to go, because I understand what's going on, but at the same time I don't understand what's going on. You know what I mean? The intricacies of it lah.
And I think he very smartly intertwined with all these like fighting scenes, and then he sort of like twists the dimensions you're in, and it's like, wow, so well done.
Then the intricacies of it all, and then like how like this layer of sleep affects the lower layer of sleep.
Correct.
Yeah, how like they have to kick all the way up, and then I think the science behind it is very clever. It's like if you do something too noticeable, it'll be like so that when your blood going to attacks you and stuff like that. Okay, Marion Cotillard, which is the actress that is used as Leonardo DiCaprio's wife. I thought it was like a fun element, the idea that it's like this person knows the layouts of the thing for Leonardo. That's why Leonardo DiCaprio cannot tell them like I don't want to see the layout, I don't want to see like how it works or whatever like that lah. What do you think you'll grade it for yourself, this movie?
I will grade it A+, but only because I only have one S in my heart.
Okay.
Superman.
Yeah, it's true. For me, myself, right, I think I would give it, heck it lah, let's go A+. A+. Yeah. Next up, this is the movie that I think defines the term that the Rotten Tomato score is confusing. Okay? Because there is no way that this is a 92% rated movie, and this movie is called Insomnia. Do you watch this movie?
No.
Okay. So, I watched this movie many years ago. So, maybe like 6 or 7 years ago. While I was watching it, right, it was a bit different from the other Nolan movies. That the story is more straightforward. There's not so much like jumping or like confusing things like that. It's based on another book. So based on another movie that was a Norwegian movie. Norwegian movie. And I think I'll just like explain the plot of it first, because I think not a lot of people know what's going on. Yeah, so basically it's like a pair of detectives, they have to investigate this teenage murder that happened in this isolated town, in this Arctic town. They investigate the murder, and then the main actor, who is Al Pacino, the area that he's investigating is very foggy. He accidentally kills his partner. Yeah, so after he accidentally kills his partner, the killer, who is Robin Williams, sees this and then uses this to blackmail him. And throughout this movie, Al Pacino is suffering from insomnia because of the fact that he killed his partner. He has to keep it a secret. So, if you were to watch this movie itself, Robin Williams, Al Pacino, I mean, they are legendary actors. So when you watch their performances, you're like, okay, this is good acting. A lot of the scenes that Christopher Nolan does, right, with insomnia specifically, right, I think it's very well done. It's like you can feel like, oh, I understand how someone that is having insomnia probably would be like going through this lah. Like it's just like, wow, you can see the lights and then all this like the covering and stuff like that. If you compare this movie to the original, right, the original is far more violent, is far more grotesque. And if you were to notice, right, Nolan, he does not use violence a lot. Like if you were to see like all his movies, right, there's barely like a blood thing. And I would say after this movie, right, he did not do like R-rated films anymore. So he's just like PG-13, 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 PG-13. He's not a gritty, like, you know, like Martin Scorsese, right? It's like a lot of his films have to be R-rated because but I think it's just not in Nolan's character to be this way lah, I guess.
Is it accurate to say that you are watching this movie more for the actor's performance than for the plot?
No, the plot is good. And the acting performances is good. It's just that because I watch other movies first, then I watch this one later.
Okay,
so,
I get it.
Yeah, so the expectations for this movie to thrill you or to like do some like crazy plot twist or something like that, it's not there lah. It's just that. Yeah, so for me, if I were to grade this movie, I'll give it a B, because the filmmaking is great, the acting, all this is great, the storyline structure, all this is great. It's just that maybe my personal expectations, I don't feel that it's like can be on a B plus level. I think it's a similar scale to like Following. Yeah. So so I'm gonna put Insomnia, give it a B. Yeah, but I do recommend, right, if you want to go and like check it out, I think it's still a good watch. Better than like 95% of if 75% of all movies out there. All right.
Yeah.
Next up. After Insomnia, there are 3 left. Okay. Next up is 93% on Rotten Tomatoes, his first and only war movie so far. It is Dunkirk. Now, Jin Yong, you watched this movie Dunkirk. What do you think of it?
Honestly, in terms of the storyline, I wasn't that impressed because it's actually a fairly straightforward storyline. It's just about like the Dunkirk event during World War II.
Yeah,
but correct. I think what I really enjoyed and what a lot of critics actually said it was good was the cinematography, like how the shots were filmed. You know, how you could really feel that you were like on the boat with the people, then you can really feel like the bullets are like very, very close, this kind of thing.
And then like how they're all jammed up in that area correct. On the bridge. They all like just want to get off the island.
It's very scary,
If you watch the movie, there's never a scene it's like, hey, back home with my family. Or they sit by a fire, then they go and create character development. He says like, it's just they drop you in this war, right? And then the movie starts. Because it's so intense and so high paced, right? Like, you won't remember who's the main actor. You'll probably not attach yourself emotionally to this actor. So I don't know, do you feel that way also?
Yeah. Because there was a lot of hype behind Harry Styles was the main actor. So I ended up like watching the film trying to spot which one is Harry Styles. Then So then that's why I say in terms of storyline it was actually relatively simple.
Yeah.
So I didn't have very good hopes or good feel about the movie after I watched it. And then but it was only recently when I go rewatch Martin Scorsese actually said about not Martin Scorsese,
Quentin
Tarantino.
Yes.
Quentin Tarantino was the one that said that when he was doing a movie ranking for his top 10 films of 2010, this was inside his top 10. Yeah, because he said it was like how cinema should be done, how it should be framed, and like all the sounds and all these things. Yeah.
And also they use a lot of the real like planes from the era to go and film, or the real ships. Yeah, they had to go through like extensive licensing issues to go and pull them out and then use them for the thing. How would you rate the movie though?
Well,
I think you can be honest.
I have to be very honest, I'll rate it B there. Because I think besides the experience itself, I didn't really enjoy the storyline. Yeah, I mean, I get what he's trying to do, but for me, a storyline in a movie is very important. So, however much I like Nolan, it has to be a B for me.
I agree. It's a B movie. The first time when I came out of the cinema, I was like, this is a good movie. And I think that's why the Rotten Tomatoes score is 93. Because there's no way that you can say this is a bad war movie. It's like, but I would say that for most people, it's like a 7 or 7.5 out of 10. So it's like, it's definitely a good movie, but it's not like a great movie. Yeah, which is why I feel that the Rotten Tomatoes score is a bit misleading, because they were like, how can you rate it 93 out of 100? But it's not. Yeah. It's like, they just refresh, however. Yeah, I agree. I will put it B as well. Last 2 movies. Next up, okay, this is a good one. It is Memento. For Memento, what do you think?
Well, Memento was the very, very first movie I watched from Nolan. That
first?
It just opened a whole new, like, I never realized that, films can be done like that one.
Like stunning.
Then when I thought the movie was good, right, then I go listen to Nolan explain the movie. Then you just realize, this, I don't know what's going on in his mind. Like how he think about all these storytelling methods, this line like this. Then he like, draw this circle, semicircle. I'm like, this one crazy, this guy.
Yeah, it's crazy, leh. I think this movie, right, really put him on the map as a director. Correct, it's like really, you show him like, this guy is going to be a great director.
Yes.
Yeah. And if you were to look at it, it's a very low budget film.
Yes, it's very low budget.
Yeah, I would say it's like, you can probably tell it's like maybe a 3, 4, 5 million like sort of budget, like not a high budget, maybe a bit, maybe to pay the actors, because the actors that they got, right, they're a bit more high profile, like Guy Pearce and then Carrie Ann Moss, and also Joe Pantoliano, who is the cop in the movie. Yeah, but I would say that throughout this whole movie, the first sort of like 20 minutes, right, it took me a while to adjust to the storytelling process, because the movie is done in reverse and then also in progression. So it's like there are 2 timelines that are converging to the same point throughout and it's very, very interesting in detail, all this. But for you, personally, right, was there a lot of like mind screw moments or like a lot of like, oh my gosh, like can't believe this is happening and stuff like that? Yeah.
I think I have to be honest lah, because I think in terms of storyline, it's really, really good. But in terms of action, is lacking lah. Yeah. But I was very impressed with how he used the color and black and white to sort of intersperse. And then like the ending was very, very shocking, but at the same time, it was like the ending is the beginning is the ending, this kind of thing.
Yes, correct. And I think it's like the first time
he had a bit more budget lah. Yeah.
Yeah. It was the first time that I watched a film. I was like, the storytelling narrative is like all over the place. It's really like just you jump here, there. Yeah. And I think they use the idea of short-term memory like to a great effect.
Yes.
Because it's like like 5 minutes then he cannot remember already. Then he have to like write stuff to remind himself.
I actually rewatched this movie because there was this course in my uni called Biology in Popular Media. So it's elective. So we watch movies and then the biology teacher will teach us what is wrong about the science in these movies.
Okay.
So Memento was one that we learned because she wanted to teach about like what is the hippocampus, then what parts of your brain, how your brain convert long-term memory to short-term memory. Short-term memory to long-term memory, this kind of thing.
So did she say it was accurate, the movie?
It was accurate in the sense that they got the part right, they got the explanation right, but they didn't really go into the depths of like how your brain functions, this kind of thing. And so for me, right, this film I have to give it a B+ because I told you before, like I see movies as like it has to have action and like storyline. So for me, the storyline is fantastic, but in terms of action, I still find it lacking lah. So
okay.
Begrudgingly, I have to give it a B+, but it's a very, very good movie.
But do you feel that you can fault it for the fact that it doesn't have budget to produce action?
True. I cannot fault it.
Yeah, but interesting. You know what I mean? Like, it's up to you lah. Your honest opinions, I think, is also valid.
I think B+ lah, honestly. Okay. Yeah. But because even after he shot the film, right, I read from the book, he had problems distributing it, because no one.
They felt like who will understand this movie?
Yeah, exactly. None of the major, not say major, even in his hometown, all the cinemas don't want to take it on. Yeah. Until he had to own self-distribute. I don't know how he own self-distribute lah. He supposedly find friends or what. Then he started distributing it, right? Then he gained popularity, right? Like they go all the what do you call it? All the film festivals and everything.
Awards, like
they started gaining popularity. Then when all the cinemas want to pick it up, right? Then he say, no need already. I own self-distribute. I bring to all the cinemas myself. Don't need distributor.
Okay. I will give it an A+. So for that, I think it balances out to like an A. Correct? B+, A. Yeah. The last movie, the creme de la creme, I think
the best movie from Nolan.
Yeah, the only one that is going to be in the S tier.
Yes, S tier.
S tier. The A++ tier is The Dark Knight, which is 94% on Rotten Tomatoes as well.
Wow,
same tier as Memento. Wow. I love this movie. Love it.
I remember watching it on the like plane, right? And then I just decided like this is the best movie I'm going to watch in my life. Because it's like, wow, the first time I see movie like, it's an action film. Action films are not supposed to be good. Then I'm just watching this and going like, wow, this director is crazy, man. Then not only that, right, all the actors are like Bale, Heath Ledger, then like Gary Oldman, Morgan Freeman, all this, right? You can see like, Michael Caine, everybody has their role to play and they play it so well. Then like, you just go there like, wow, this is just amazing. Then like they even created the perfect sidekick, not say sidekick the side character, the Harvey Dent. Yeah. Wow, how he went from the White Knight to being the Two-Face, it's just like, wow. The face for so long, then he just pull down all the way. And then you have this Joker at the side just like, hey, come over, it's okay. Then, wow, that's it.
Yeah. That's why I gotta say, right, my ace in the hole is the Harvey. Like, he pulled out the card,
It's crazy, man.
Crazy. And I was gonna say, right, the first time I watched this movie in the cinema, I felt so like edge of my seat the whole time I watched it. And I watched it like when I was in secondary school. So I was not like old enough to be. But at the same time when you watch it, you're like, oh my goodness, this freaky villain. Or like why does the story of the blades keep changing?
Exactly.
Yeah, complex.
So like I watched the Joker, right? Keep it like, because a lot of times Joker, I keep thinking that there is this one person inside that I'm just waiting to be revealed at the end of the story.
Yeah.
But I think at the end of the movie, I don't even know who he is. Like, he just keep, like you say, I just keep changing stories. Then like, he just keep like, then like, it just come to a point like, I don't even know who's this guy. Is he just crazy for the sake of being crazy, or he's really like, he's sane, but so, how to say, so sickeningly sane, you know, that he's doing all these things for fun.
He got to say, right? He's like, I'm just a dog chasing a car. If I catch the car, I won't know what to do with the car.
Yeah,
so it's just like, I just do it for the sake of doing it. So I think that's what makes him such a great villain in general, like, or through the comics or this, right? He doesn't have a, how to say, there's no like purpose for him doing it. He just does it for the sake of like doing it, and then he just wants to push Batman to his limit lah. And also like the action sequences in this film
oh yes,
are like the best. Yeah, groundbreaking lah. Because it's all real. There's no CGI or anything like that. It's just like real, man. Especially that chase scene where the bat bike comes out of the bat comes out of the car. Yeah, then he flips the whole tunnel. Then boom, man. Wow.
They also presented a lot of very, how do you say, very humanistic problems. Like the two ships one is all the humans, then the other, not humans, the one is all the normal people, then one is all the convicts. Then he said you all have to press the button, then wow, that one is like, quite well done.
Yeah, and then the fact that both of them don't want to press, so both sides never press.
Yeah.
And then the Joker, right, he was still going to blow them up. The whole movie is great, but the outstanding performance, Heath Ledger, like, it will just last in your memory forever. Yeah.
Wow. I don't know whether you watched this interview of the guy that acted as Harvey Dent. He said that when he was getting ready for his scene, right, he was on the hospital bed, so it's like he's putting on makeup. Then he just keeps seeing like this Heath Ledger in the background just keep walking around talking to himself, like being in character. Then he's then freaked out, right? But he have to like wait 1 hour for the makeup to be ready, right? Then by then he's so tense already, right? Then when everything is ready, start, right? He said the Joker just came over, right? Everything just happened so naturally. Yeah,
it's like true like character acting. But I think it's such a shame that he passed away, this Heath Ledger. But it's like like everyone will remember this movie because of that performance. You know what I mean? Like forever. It will go down as the greatest villain performance, I think, in history of.
Exactly.
You're gonna give it an S?
Yes, it is S.
S tier. All right. Let me just go through the ratings again. We've averaged it out between the both of us, and then I think, right, what we're going to be doing also is that when Oppenheimer comes out, you and I will go and review the movie, which I think will be a good idea. Yeah, because we're discussing how much we love the Christopher Nolan stuff. Okay, so the Tenet, it got a B+, Interstellar is an A-, The Prestige is A-, The Following is B, Batman Begins is B+, Dark Knight Rises is B-, which I think is the lowest rated movie so far. Inception gets an A+, Insomnia gets a B, Dunkirk gets a B, Memento gets an A, and then Dark Knight gets a S. All right. For you, Ziong, will I be seeing you when we go and watch Oppenheimer together? Should we go and watch it together?
Sure, I don't mind.
Let's go and watch it together.
Yeah.
And then we come out of the movie, we're like, what the F just happened?
Exactly. I'm very scared now. After what he did with Tenet, I'm very scared. I have to watch 2 times.
I'm scared 2 times. We buy two back-to-back movies. 2 p.m. then 5 p.m. Then we come back. Okay. With that out of the way, that was our Christopher Nolan ratings episode.
Get out of here!
Look at the time. The coffee shop is closing. But in the meantime, if you enjoyed the episode, please remember to give it a like, a thumbs up, and subscribe. We have episodes that drops every Monday, but at the same time also, if you're into football, we have the Football Kaki that drops every Wednesday. And also, if you're into game show formats, we have our big game show, the SG Draft podcast that drops every Friday. Also, we have a weekly tournament poll that comes out every Monday related to the KopiBros episode. Please stay tuned for that. And please head to our Instagram to go and vote if you want to go and vote. Voting is done daily, Monday to Thursday. All right. With that out of the way, we hope everyone is going to the cinema next month to go and see Oppenheimer. We'll see you back here in 1 month to do the movie review. But remember, a kopi a day keeps your troubles away.
Either you die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become a villain.
Then the Hans Zimmer always use the bomb. Like the the Inception, the bomb. Okay. See you, bro. Go on. See you.